how does Tata Communication, along with partnering with HPE, see the IoT as a business model, and hence how does it spread across India? That's a network which we have been trying to build in India as such. If we just go back, we are deploying one of the largest LoRa network in India, which is primarily focused on IoT spread across the globe, across Indian geography, which starts from the tier 1 cities to purely on the, depending on the requirements, going up to tier 4 cities. I would say the biggest plus which the two between HPE and Tata Communications, what we could do is that, one, we have the experience of building the infrastructure across India, number one. Number two, the management of the whole infrastructure, and also the base, the systems and the OSS BSS platform, what has been put on that. I think that's the biggest, I would say, the advantage and the opportunity which both of us could be creating in the geography of India. I would say the infrastructure which is being built and the platform along with HPE, what we have been deploying, this is ubiquitous across all of the customers. When I say all of the customers or verticals, it could be a healthcare industry, it could be a industrial production industry, it could be a retail industry. For that matter, even it could be even our telecom infrastructure itself, service provider themselves could be one of the biggest customers, I would say that. In terms of the challenges, I do see the many of the challenges of having the sensors being not applicable or not being, I would say, compatible for multiple geographies or the multiple user base what is there. But I would think that this is a process of graduation which has happened even as telecom itself in last 10 years or 20 years which we may think of. But clearly this is a graduation which we are. But I think from a platform and from the infrastructure what we have been trying to build, I think this is one of the fantastic enablers for any of the application providers or your sensors across the geographies which could be deployed as such. Primarily, I would say that retail is one of the areas where I would want to be looking at, not limited to that. As I said earlier, IoT is a management of the things. So it should be any passive elements which is being looked at it. For example, when I looked at it, the towers or the base station, the locations across the various geographies which has been deployed, how do you manage the power of that? How do you manage the power management of it? How do you manage the generators qualification of it? How do you manage the air conditioners of it? When you look at one particular industry, say in this case if it is a telecom industry, there are tons of equipments which could be managed through this. So if I focus on it, telecom could be number one, which could be one of the areas where we can straight away focus on it. Healthcare, as I said earlier in between, that this is one of the areas where that how my whole imaging itself could be transferred, how the reports of individual patients into your doctor itself could be one of the enabler which we could be looking at through the IoT applications what we have been seeing it. If I just keep on listing it, there will be tons which I can keep on talking about it. Clearly some of these two areas which are the ones straight away we should be able to deploy it in the geographies of interest what we have been doing. The biggest challenge what I said is that the sensor ubiquitousness. What I mean by this is the sensors are still, I would say, not yet standardized in terms of it. The type of sensors which is being deployed in various locations, whether it is a vehicle monitoring, whether it is in terms of a healthcare industry, whether it is in terms of your infrastructure industry, how does this multiple sensors could be managed on a platform what has been deployed, which is being envisaged between HPE and Tata Communications. I think this would be the, at least, I wouldn't say biggest challenge, that's the immediate challenge which I would say that needs to be worked on. The second most challenge, I would say in a sense, which needs to be worked on is the one where that most of our infrastructure, which is a telecom infrastructure which is being deployed, they are all basically on a mobile network based or a network which is more envisaged for a typical product based OSS BSS systems. I would say that when this whole product based OSS BSS systems are being deployed, I think somewhere there is a manual element which is coming into it, and the analytics, usage of the analytics on some of these OSS itself is becoming a little bit of difficulty in terms of converting into it as such actually. But I would say with the experience what HPE itself has got in deploying the various OSS BSS systems, and hence graduating this whole backend system into a much evolved IoT platform onto this, I think that's the one which is a challenge which needs to be worked on as such. How does a Tata Communication and the transformation business what we have along with HPE could be a formidable combination for us to be the market leader in IoT space as such actually. I personally believe that it is one of the strongest combination which anybody could have worked on. The main reason being, if I just look at from HPE perspective, they have been the leaders in OSS BSS space. They have been the leaders in development of a complete platform, which is what is the outcome which I have seen as a part of the IoT platform on which we have been working on. When I just take the same analogy into Tata Communication or Tata Communication transformation business, as Tata Communication, we have been the leaders in terms of creating the infrastructure, managing the infrastructure, and managing the infrastructure very, very efficiently. With the combination of operational knowledge, with the combination of the skills and the kind of the expertise what we have developed to manage it, and the know-how of what HPE's OSS/BSS capabilities what they have built, and the IoT platform on which it has been built on, I think it's one of the fantastic combination which we should be able to do.